Hi everyone! Today I'm going to give you some exercises that are commonly done incorrectly or could cause injury. They are basic, but some of the most common exercises poorly done. You will find pointers on correcting your form and modifications in case you need to take it to a different level to get that form correctly. Take your time, and once you feel confident that you're going to do these moves correctly, you can add on repetitions. Start in tabletop position, hands shoulder width apart and knees hip width apart. Engage your core, squeeze your butt, and slowly begin to lift your knees off the ground and onto your toes. As you do this, make sure you're pressing your heels back and rotating your elbows inward. Your lower back, again, is at risk, so it's important to tuck your core up and under to protect it. The more you squeeze your core, the more protected your lower back will be. To modify this, you can stay on your knees or come down to your forearms. The next one we're going to do is a squat, a simple move that is commonly done incorrectly. Start in a standing position with your feet hip width apart and slowly lower down like you're sitting into a chair. So your knees are right in line with your toes here. This is where mistakes are made. People will stick their butts out, loading their lower back with pressure rather than loading their heels. So you want to remember that you have to keep all the weight back in your heels and your core tucked to protect your lower back. To modify, you can shorten your range. Make sure you always have a nice flat back and weight is distributed properly. The next one we're going to do are crunches. Do crunches always hurt your neck when you do them? If so, then this move is for you. You're going to start on your back, knees bent, and feet on the floor. Place your hands behind your head with your elbows open and begin to lift your body up and over towards your knees for a crunch. The biggest mistake people make are crunching their chin down into their chest as they lift up, and then their elbows begin to squeeze together. A crunch is done with your core, not your neck, so make sure you keep those elbows open and think about reaching with your armpits. Lift your upper body off the ground and then use your core to crunch it up. Your neck will thank you. We're going on to some lunges where your knees are at the most risk. Begin standing with your feet hip width apart. Your right foot is stepping behind and your left knee should be bent so your knee is in line with your toes and your right knee is slightly bent with the weight in the right toes. Common mistake here is with the knees. Many people will invert their knees and put a lot of unnecessary pressure on them. So be sure to evenly distribute your weight from your front heel to your back toes. Engage your core and use it to stabilize yourself. As you lunge down and up, make sure those knees stay facing forward and then switch legs. A helpful way to think about this is to keep your hips squared. Put your fists on your hips and make sure they are directly forward. So you'll find that these moves are basic, but are at the core of many exercises and movement you do every day. Take these tips on avoiding injury and apply them until you feel confident enough to advance them or add more repetitions.